Hello operators, and welcome to another Wednesday instalment of me sharing my invaluable observations and opinions on life. James, this week you started a discussion on classic literature, asking us to muse on exactly how important or valuable classics are. By classics we mean any text of whatever form that is held in esteem within what is called the literary canon. This canon, rather than shooting giant metal balls at floating vessels, arguably the greater and more culturally productive function, acts as a historical collection stretching as far back as the Greek poet Homer's Iliad and Odyssey and progressing through the centuries to modern prose, poetry and playwriting. As a literature student, I may be expected to immediately jump to the defence of these highly regarded texts. Is it not, after all, my job to vouch for the timeless quality and significance of these works? Well, I don't think so. James, in your video on Monday you brought up a very important though contentious distinction, the difference between enjoying something and appreciating it. Now, I have read many texts, most of which have been considered classics, and a good number I have not ultimately enjoyed reading, or at least I found something to criticise about each of them. I will not shy from arguing that Jane Austen's overlong and syntactically labyrinthine sentences hinder the reading of her work, or that Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is poorly paced. William Wordsworth was a painfully egotistical poet, and even the great and beloved Shakespeare wrote some tripe in his time. I, for one, think that Romeo and Juliet is the most pathetic excuse for a love story that I've ever read. The first hurdle to overcome when dealing with classics is our preconception that these texts are somehow infallible. When we read a text that has been fashioned as a snow-capped summit of cultural achievement and dislike it, we are made to feel as if we have done something wrong. But I believe that we, as readers, have every capacity and right to voice our distaste or dissatisfaction with whatever we read. Not one text has been publicly released ever without some kind of criticism or backlash, usually from other writers and most definitely from readers. That said, all the texts that I have read and disliked or taken issue with for whatever reason are texts that I have also been able to appreciate. But I don't think this is true for just classics, which so often seem initially opaque or confusing or otherwise difficult. I believe that all texts have some worth with which they can be appreciated. Let's take Romeo and Juliet as an example. I can't stand Romeo and Juliet. Its characters are shallow and obsessive, its relationships are dangerously dysfunctional, verging on psychotic, and its ending is a forced and farcical tragedy. Actually, it reminds me a lot of Twilight, linked to my review of that in the Doodadamajigama Thingamabob. Though, of course, the forced and farcical tragedy in Twilight is Bella and Edward's entire relationship. Still, there are a handful of passages and exchanges that I genuinely enjoy, and moreover, I appreciate both of these texts, despite their myriad flaws, evident in one more than the other. What I appreciate is that they both offer a particularly important and socially telling depiction of relationships that are dangerous and superficial and troubling. Unintentional though it may be, it is this that makes them valuable, by allowing us to consider and examine these relationships. I do not just call a bad text and abandon it. Instead, I try to understand and justify with thoughtful sincerity why I take issue with them. Certainly, I don't have to enjoy reading a text to appreciate its value. But what do we mean when we say we enjoy something? It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to make us feel warm and fuzzy inside. I mean, people don't enjoy horror movies because they make them feel happy. They enjoy the feeling of being scared when they turn the lights off at night. Similarly, sometimes what I enjoy in text is not found in the immediacy of its reading, but in the evocation of thoughts and consideration and debate that takes place long after I have finished. Indeed, for me, maybe not for others, being able to consider a text complexly and appreciate its value, however much I dislike reading the text itself, is enjoyable. It's a different type of reading, and a different type of enjoyment, but I argue that all these different types are in some way valuable. So this is where I stand. No one should feel obliged to enjoy a text, however highly regarded it may be. No one should feel that they are not allowed to criticize a text for the faults they perceive in it. What I ask, however, is that we give text a chance. Classics are, after all, just another text. And after all, I don't care what people are reading. I care that they are reading, widely and thoroughly and complexly, classics or otherwise. You'll probably hear me expand on these sentiments in later weeks, as I'm sure literature will come up again. Max, Ethan, I look forward to hearing your take on this subject. Till then, there's you.